Hi, ArcfieldWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Wednesday morning, February 16th. A lot to talk about this morning. We have a big storm system that will impact a wide part of the eastern half of the nation over the next 48 to 72 hours or so. First, it will produce significant accumulating snow across portions of the Midwest, really all the way in the region from Kansas to the northern part of New England over the next few days, including some big Midwestern cities of St. Louis, Chicago, and Detroit to get quite a bit of snow accumulation out of this system. Meanwhile, in the Mid-Atlantic region and the Northeast U.S., the main concern on my part is the potential for high winds. Powerful winds late Thursday night into Friday morning, potentially damaging wind gusts, especially in those hour or two immediately behind the passage of the cold frontal system late Thursday night going into Friday morning. There will be a pressure surge right at that time, just immediately behind the passage of that cold frontal system. That's when winds could really gust to damaging levels, perhaps 60 plus miles per hour, especially along coastal sections of the eastern seaboard, all the way from Virginia up to Maine. So a lot to talk about. Let's start off with the snow map from the Canadian model run of last night, the 0Z Canadian model run. I think the Canadian model has a pretty good handle on the overall situation. And again, really extending from Kansas all the way up into the northern tip of Maine here over the next few days. This is the 72-hour forecast map all the way out to Saturday morning. It's actually for the next 78 hours. But again, the big cities in the Midwest, St. Louis, Chicago, Detroit, can get some significant snow out of this. Buffalo should get decent snow out of this as well. No snow for the I-95 corridor region. Again, the big concern with this system will be the potential for some powerful and damaging wind gusts late Thursday night, early Friday. Well, sticking with the Canadian model here for the from the 0Z run, this is the forecast map of 850 millibar winds. This is a couple thousand feet off the surface level beginning tomorrow morning, Thursday morning. I just wanted to point out the fear here is that some of these very strong winds just above the surface level can get mixed down to the ground level late tomorrow night, early Friday morning. That could happen in a couple of ways. First of all, there can be some convection or thunderstorm activity that can actually help to move some of those strong winds aloft down to the surface level. That is a possibility later tomorrow night into early Friday morning. And then just behind the passage of the surface cold front, pressures can surge. And that also can help to contribute to some very excessive wind gusts. And we'll kind of take a look here at the 850 millibar winds. This is tomorrow morning, then 6 hours later, early tomorrow afternoon, and then here is early tomorrow night. But then late tomorrow night, look at that intensification here of that low-level jet. Again, we're looking at the 850 millibar level in the atmosphere. That's a couple thousand feet off the surface. Lots of purples here. That is 65 knots and above here, and it doesn't take much to bring some of that speed down to the surface level. So this is, again, the time period for concern late tomorrow night into early Friday morning, and the reason for concern, especially along coastal sections from Virginia all the way up to Maine. Here we go by early Friday morning. Look at these winds across eastern New England at the 850 millibar level. Definitely raises the possibility, unfortunately, for some scattered power outages in the Mid-Atlantic region and Northeast U.S. Again, especially along coastal sections. We're talking late tomorrow night into Friday morning. Well, now let's take a look at the temperature field here. This is the 850 millibar temperature anomalies from the Canadian model. Today will finally turn somewhat milder in the Mid-Atlantic region, the Northeast U.S. It's been quite cold over the last 3 or 4 days or so as Arctic air moved into the region during this past weekend. Warmer than normal conditions at the 850 millibar level into today, and it tends to intensify on Thursday. High temperatures tomorrow afternoon, D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, probably in the range of 60 to as much as 65 degrees, well above normal for this time of the year. However, That warm-up, though it will be quite dramatic, will be rather brief, as a strong cold front will put an end to it by the time we get to Friday. And here is where that frontal system lies as of early tomorrow afternoon. You can see a real delineation here with the much colder air to the north and west and much milder air to the south and east, and that is your difference caused by that surface cold front. Here we go by late tomorrow night into early Friday morning. By Friday morning, seems to me the frontal passage will occur probably in that time period about 2 a.m. to 6 or 7 a.m. in the D.C., Philadelphia, New York City corridor. The wee hours of the morning, Friday morning. Again, to me, that's the time period to watch out for those most excessive wind gusts in the wee hours of the morning, 2 a.m., let's say, all the way out to 6 or 7 a.m., immediately behind the passage of that surface cold front. By the time we get into Friday afternoon, excuse me, temperatures should likely drop throughout much of the day on Friday in the northeastern part of the nation following the passage of that cold frontal system. We'll talk about this in a moment. There's actually kind of a reinforcing cold shot that will arrive in the northeastern quadrant of the nation late Saturday night. It comes with a pretty potent upper level feature, may cause some snow shower, maybe even some snow squall activity. We'll have to watch out for that late Saturday into Saturday night. Stays pretty chilly on Sunday, and then a big warm up begins in the middle part of the nation at the end of the week, and then it pushes into the east beginning on Monday, but especially intensifying Tuesday, Wednesday into Thursday. Well, let's take a look at the vorticity field as depicted by the 0Z run of the Canadian model. Not much activity today in terms of vorticity over the northeastern part of the nation. Pretty tranquil day, although the winds will start to kick up some out of the south or southwest as milder air starts to make a push from the southwest to the northeast. Again, temperatures this afternoon likely to be quite a bit milder than the recent few days, well up in the 40s in most of the I-95 corridor region. Now, let's get into the day on Thursday morning. Strong wave of energy over the south central states. It'll become noticeably milder on Thursday in the I-95 corridor region. Again, high temperatures tomorrow afternoon, probably 60 to 65 degrees in D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, and then that cold front arrives late tomorrow night, going into the wee hours of the morning on Friday morning, probably passing through places like D.C., Philly, New York City, somewhere between 2 a.m. and 7 a.m. early Friday morning. And again, that's the time period I am most concerned for excessive wind gusts. Here we are by Friday. Once that front clears the East Coast, temperatures will slowly drop through the day on Friday. And look at this upstream here. By the time we get to Friday evening, that is a very impressive wave of energy here, and it can't be dismissed. It's something we'll have to monitor for the potential of snow showers, maybe even snow squalls in at least parts of the Mid-Atlantic region, northeast U.S. Later Saturday into Saturday night. Again, here is that wave of energy that we'll have to watch for. It brings in a reinforcing shot of chilly air by the time we get to Sunday. Well, let's now take a look at the surface maps. And right off the bat, as we begin the day here on Wednesday, notice all these lines of equal pressure known as isobars. These black lines represent lines of equal pressure. And the tighter those lines are, the stronger the low-level winds. And in this case, they flow from the southwest to the northeast. You have a counterclockwise flow around low pressure out here, and you have a clockwise flow around high pressure out here, and the combination of which produces this long fetch of air out of the southwest to the northeast, and that's why we're getting a significant warm-up today across the Midwest, and that translates into the eastern states for Thursday. Let's continue to move forward here, and again, notice the tight pressure gradient here. The rain holds off for most of the day on Thursday in the I-95 corridor region, but accumulating snow will break out early Thursday all the way down to Kansas and Oklahoma. Really intensifies into the Midwest, and again, the big Midwestern cities of St. Louis, Chicago, Detroit, likely to get significant snow out of this, and eventually that moves into places like Buffalo, New York. Here we are now, Thursday night, 60 degrees plus in the D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, and Boston corridor at this particular time. This is Thursday evening. It is at this time, Thursday evening, when the showers will begin, and don't be surprised if there's a rumble of thunder in the I-95 corridor region. Here we are now, a 1 a.m. forecast map from the Canadian model. This is the position of that surface cold front at that particular time. Again, this is the time period right here, right following the passage of that cold front. Here's where it lies at 1 a.m., right across central Pennsylvania. And between 1 a.m. and the next time frame at 7 a.m., that front comes on through. Immediately behind that surface front, pressures will surge. They'll rise. That's the time period. Watch out for some excessive winds, perhaps some scattered power outages will result. Again, talking about 1 a.m. to 7 a.m. time frame for the immediate D.C., Philadelphia, New York City corridor. Let's move ahead to the next time frame. Here we go. That time, 7 a.m. forecast map. That front is now just to the south and east of D.C., Philadelphia, New York City. Excessive winds at this particular time across the coastal sections of New England. Again, especially likely for some powerful, potentially damaging winds from the coastal sections of Virginia all the way up to Maine associated with this. And snow on the cold side of that cold front here. By early Friday morning, we're talking about upstate Pennsylvania, upstate New York. Again, Buffalo could get some decent snow accumulations out of this. Don't worry about snow in the immediate I-95 corridor region. The wind is the bigger concern, and even the rain is not a major concern. There can be some brief downpours with that frontal passage later tomorrow night. They will be brief, however, and overall probably looking at a ½ an inch out of this particular setup here for D.C., Philadelphia, New York City. Flooding is not likely to be an issue. The high winds, the biggest concern here. Temperatures drop through the day in New England, in the Mid-Atlantic region, on the heels of that frontal passage. And then look at this upstream here. By the time we get to early Saturday, we have a vigorous wave of energy we saw a moment ago. We'll have to watch out. That could produce some snow showers in the northeast, certainly over the eastern Great Lakes. Watch out for snow showers and snow squalls on Saturday. Again, that could bring some snow showers, maybe even some snow squalls and increasing winds on Saturday into the northeastern part of the nation. So even though it's very active tomorrow night into early Friday, that's not the end of the active weather for the Mid-Atlantic and the Northeast. We'll have to watch out for this system on Saturday into Saturday night. By the time we get to Saturday evening, it pushes off the New England coastline. Strong winds on the backside and a reinforcing cold shot for the day on Sunday. Turns much milder, by the way, next week, but that is definitely not the end of winter. We'll talk about that over the next couple of days. Plenty of signs that winter will not go away easily, and there will be a return to colder air outbreaks following the warm surge coming next week into the latter part of February and into the first part of March. Winter will make a return. So again, the biggest concern for the Mid-Atlantic, the Northeast U.S. over the next couple of days will be high winds, potentially damaging wind gusts late tomorrow night into early Friday morning. Stay tuned to arcfieldweather.com for updates later today and again during the day on Thursday. That's it for now. I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.